how dark I wanted it to be.
We always like your mood lighting, Count Morbid.
Yeah.
Ladybugs and Yellow Jackets, please welcome to the next episode of FAE News Network here on Wednesday night in the magic portal of the YouTube realms. I am your host, Fairy Princess Lolly, and I'm here tonight with Ion the Leprechaun, Count Morbid, who is classically still not his actual chair. Okay, there he is. Famous Dana Boggin.
Yay! Hi.
With her awesome new library background, and Baron Gunther Hammerhands.
Hello.
Who is wearing awesome rose-colored goggles.
It's a beautiful thing, yeah. You know, you're 13 shades of pink. It's possible.
I believe it. Like normal, please hit like and subscribe. All the things. I haven't really. Yes, here we are. I think it's doing the thing. Everything seems to be going slow on my end tonight. Yes, huzzah! Like and subscribe. Do that thing, and please share everywhere. And oh, yep, there's the mood lighting for Count Morbid. So after all of the flack on the last episode, I guess there's just really no need for us to go over events that are canceled, and we can all just go with there are no events. Yep, that would be you, Morbid.
I'm sure I feel bad.
Really? I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure that you had any part of your body left ever that ever felt bad about anything. I thought you were just old and curmudgeonly.
Just as Pinky Toe.
Well,
still beautiful.
I don't feel at all bad about that. There are things that I do feel bad about. That
was one of them trying to kill me on Samhain?
Nope.
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 Trying to kill me on Samhain?
Nope.
Oh, I have feedback from somebody. Somebody. Is that you that has feedback? I don't know. That was weird. What's making that weird flashy thing in the background there? What is that? It's like a TV. It's like a terrible, terrible TV. I mean, one says R.I.P.
In 1984.
I don't like the flashing, so I'm going to turn it off. But
well, from far away, the flashing is actually kind of cool.
Whoa.
It's just that I despise television, so.
it despises it. If it was a television,
I'm sure
you'd be angry. But the fact that it's a haunted gravestone, A-okay.
Yeah, actually, yes. Completely, 100%.
What if it's
haunted gravestones? Cool.
What if it's the creepy static TV from Poltergeist?
That was awesome.
Small children into
movie.
It.
I love that movie.
I mean, it would be cool if it actually was that creepy TV in that creepy poltergeist setting, because then it would be weird and different and eerie, as opposed to just an annoying TV flashing in the background. And hello out there, everybody in the audience. I see Elizabeth and Jack, and I see Ion and Gunther as well, talking to people in the audience. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm sorry. My eyes are really burny right now, so if I keep blinking, that's why. I
thought you blinked because that's what you're supposed to do.
Nope. So tonight, well, I don't know. I don't have very much to talk about. I know it sounds terrible and boring, but I really don't. I mean, I did, but I have two things to open, though. I've got some cool. I thought I might do some unboxings.
Unboxings are fun. What you got?
We like unboxings.
Okay, so this one actually, yeah, I was gonna be prepared to do this tonight with scissors and everything, and I forgot.
Do you want a knife?
So here
Oh, is that the feeling of the day? Wow.
It's the feeling of having to do it like this every single time that annoys me. And it's all just because I forgot to.
Mark was clearly in a shower.
No, this one is cool. I'm actually.
Have we ever done a boxing, which would be like an unboxing where we just put things in a box?
Yes, when I moved.
Actually, I don't. I feel like when you say that though, I just have a whole different understanding of what it means to do a boxing because I think of boxing Helena, and that's a different kind of boxing.
She might. What?
Hello, Valerie. I think of boxing Helena.
Who's Helena and why are you boxing her?
It's a movie with Julian Sands. It's a very good movie.
Helena, I assure you, Helena did not either give a thumbs up or clap at the end of the movie.
That's terrible, Count Morbid. Okay, so this thing here that I've got, this is actually, you guys might recall, we had Kamala's own magical and mundane perfumery, that vendor that was on last week, I think, on last week's show. Maybe it was the week before. Yeah. And she's the one who makes the handmade perfumes, and one of them was called Yennefer's perfume or Yennefer's fragrance. Yennefer, I guess, is from some show called The Witcher.
Yes. Yeah,
Yennefer. Some show, you know.
Yes, some show called The Witcher. I've never seen it, but I guess that there's a character in the show called Yennefer, and whenever the character gets asked what perfume what's in her perfume, she says lilacs and gooseberry. So, okay, there's a lot of paperwork in here that obviously you guys can't read, but that I will want to read later. And so,
toss a coin to your dunker.
I thought it was really cool that she made this perfume from the show. So I decided to order it. Okay. And that is what has arrived, at least I think.
Well, it's got to be better than her making something that smells like lolly.
It's supposed to be lilacs and gooseberry.
I was good at 40 that lolly usually smells like some sort of flower.
I was excited to see what one of the doctors are going to smell like.
It was $5 for a sample, and I thought that was a pretty good human price for a sample because it's pretty hard to buy perfume over the interwebs. Okay, so this one is Yennefer's, and apparently, can you guys see it?
Kinda. What color is it?
It's really shiny. It's shiny. It's silver, actually.
Yeah. So Yennefer was like the love interest of the Witcher, if I'm not mistaken.
But there's a second one in here, and it is fresh lilac sample. So one is just plain lilac, and one is this lilac and gooseberry. Here we go. I'm going to open the lilac and gooseberry and smell it. Hi, Trevor. I see you out there. And
by the way, for the audience, while Lolly is being smelly, I recommend that everyone like, subscribe, share, etc.
Yeah, hit the hammer.
It's supposed to be scratch and sniff, right?
Scratch. Lolly? Yeah.
Don't scratch Lolly.
You can scratch and sniff your screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's time to bring in smell-o-vision.
Yes. All right, everybody. What do you think? How does it smell?
Well,
I bet it smells like lilac and gooseberry.
Well, there's something more in there besides lilac and gooseberry, but there's definitely the lilac that is in there, and the gooseberry I think is this kind of there's like kind of a sour fruity smell that's good.
Does it have any snozberries?
I don't know if it has snozberries or not, but it smells like it has something that is
okay. You need to taste
ambery in it.
Taste it and tell us if it tastes like gooseberry.
I'm not going to taste it. Gross. It's like essential oil perfume. No. I mean, I wouldn't taste it if it wasn't essential oil. Oh, yes, this perfume over here is synthetic. I'll taste it, but not the essential oil. But no, I'm not going to taste it. Disgusting. All of them would be gross.
Or if the perfume is whale vomit.
What?
your whale vomit.
That's how they used to make perfume. Is they'd use
What?
what do they call that? Anyway, there's this special name for whale vomit that is.
Is it ambergris?
That sounds right.
Evergreen.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Ambergris.
Ambergris, yeah.
Ambergris.
Ingredients in
What's
all perfume.
Nebuchadnezzar?
It's what they used to make perfume out of, and it's whale vomit.
Didn't they used to make a lipstick out of whale blubber?
I don't know.
I want to know what you mean when you say it's what they used to make perfume out of. You mean they just took whale vomit and put it in a bottle and called it perfume? Or do you mean that there was some part of the perfuming process that involved whale vomit? And if the latter,
it was
what?
one of the
Elaborate.
ingredients. You can look on the Google for ambergris. It's spelled like amber, Gris.
Okay, I'm actually
That just
Uncle
sounds like a
Google who
name.
knows all. Ambergris.
It's like one away from immigrant.
There's
And-
amber, Grist.
Well,
Advertise?
it's one word. I just spelled it that way so that you would know as amber, one word, Gris.
I've never heard of it. Oh, yes, there it is. It says, okay, it tells me what it is in Latin and then what it is in Old French and then some themes and variations. It says, or gray amber. Oh, ambergris. Okay, gray amber. Yes. Okay, it is a solid, waxy, flammable. Here, honey, wear this perfume. Come sit with me round the fire. And thus were born the stories of people spontaneously
That's
combusting.
exactly what I was thinking.
Well,
Exactly what I was
given that
thinking.
most perfumes and colognes I know are alcohol based now, still flammable.
No, the alcohol base in perfumes evaporates off of you. I'm sorry, but solid, waxy, flammable substance sounds like it just sits on your skin waiting to be ignited.
Well, you're not putting a giant ball of wax on your face.
But it doesn't evaporate away is the point, right?
Isn't that what people are anyway, as they're waiting to be ignited?
One could argue that's what breathing is.
I don't know, but my head tried to filk at that, right? Like it really did. Kind of was like, I'm so ignited, and they just can't fight it. It was terrible. I don't know.
And I light you.
It's illegal now, by the way, of course, because
Really?
whales.
Oh, I thought it was
I was
illegal
gonna
to light someone on fire.
Apparently,
Hold on. Just now, I mean, nobody had any good ideas after, I don't know, say the Elizabethan era where they were just burning people at stakes and things like that. And somebody was like, this is perhaps a bad idea and we shouldn't do it and it should be illegal. It's been legal this whole time. We can just go set people on fire.
it makes me want to go read what we did.
I think he was referring to the ambergris. I don't think it's illegal. I think you just have to source it naturally. Like,
Well, I tried to read the article quickly. Well,
he needs more time than that. So
there's still perfume today made with it. So
I think if you source it
right.
naturally,
It depends on the country.
I like how they describe this, though. I feel as though this is what I'm going to have to use in the most grandiloquent word of the day. Fashion, right? It is the solid, waxy, flammable substance of a dull gray or blackish color produced in the digestive system of sperm whales, right? So basically, you're right, something like vomit. And I'm going to say, though, like the next time I get ill or I have the flu, I'm going to be, help me to the latrine. I've got to divest myself of a dull yellow and brackish color that is produced in the digestive system of my belly.
Bile ducts.
I'm still stuck on the word grandiloquent or whatever she said.
Grandiloquent.
What?
Grandiloquent.
I never. Oh,
That means
okay.
really eloquent.
Grandiloquent. Okay.
That's like
It went all together and my head went.
mixing grandiose with eloquence. And
I'm with you now. It went out the way she pronounced it. I was like, well, what?
You use a lot of very large and affected words, much to the annoyance of everyone around you.
Much
And
to
that-
their chagrin.
Yes, much to their chagrin.
I honestly think that if you tried to source this naturally, that you're going to get a lot of diluted guck and
I feel like I need a dictionary.
I just feel like
It's
if
great
any
if
of
you're
you
happy
guys
about
tries to
it.
source this naturally, it's gonna be somebody like Hemingway is gonna write an epic tale about it or something. Because
Oh, I mean,
I believe he had.
Spoiler warning: Hemingway is dead.
we know a few mermaids out there who might be interested in this task.
Maybe we can just get the mermaids to puke. Just get mermaid puke.
do you think mermaid
I'm
puke is blue?
wondering.
it's probably
It's a
flammable.
waxy substance. Yeah.
I
And
know.
besides, don't you know a mermaid, Count Morbid? I mean,
It's all the mermaids.
that's true. He does know all the mermaids. What are you doing with all the
Oh,
mermaids? Count Morbid?
actually, maybe you could just get a mermaid to go find
very
this stuff
fishy.
from a whale.
He does fishy things.
Don't they know how to speak the same language or something?
Isn't they talking very slowly?
Oh, see, he hasn't tried it even.
I totally learned how to speak whale from Finding Nemo. Dory taught me.
I know a few people that could probably be classified as whales.
Because of the way they speak. Because I sort of want to meet that person actually. Oh, I need to go.
No.
Oh, I want to meet
Morbid
that
doing
person.
that on purpose.
I was subtly trying to be mean to somebody I don't like, and it didn't. It turned out badly, obviously.
I mean, it didn't really turn out badly. I was just trying to take it the extra mile for you.
Yes, Dana, I hate it when people are cranky and grumpy on this. Please try to be more upbeat.
Oh my gosh, how horrible!
I'm actually
Dana,
somewhat shocked. I mean,
Dana,
You're
got
you're
nice
mad at
stuff.
somebody, Dana?
No.
You're really bringing the mood down, Dana. I'm disappointed.
Well, if my beard grew faster, it would probably be not disappointing.
Oh, you're gonna
Look
get
at Gunther
that again.
saying things, and you can just glue them to your chin.
Listen, Dana's beard is more epic than mine, and that's saying something.
I know. She can tie her hair under her chin and make a beard.
No.
I actually really would. If you just did that, right, and then braided it straight down,
I
that'd be
wonder,
pretty
cool.
I wonder which one of you two has longer hair, because you both have really long hair.
Dana does.
Yeah, you think
Dana
so?
does. Yes.
Dana cut her hair recently.
On purpose?
How much?
Which one?
Which one?
You're not supposed to cut your hair while in quarantine. It's one of the rules. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Now probably me. How'd you do
By the way,
that?
not to alarm you or anything,
But Moby cut his hair too.
mostly, did I? I've only got a notification from one of the Facebook groups you normally post to. I'm only seeing it on FAE Production.
Which one?
For what? You're only seeing what?
Well, I thought in the past that you would when you've done this,
Oh,
you
yes.
shared to multiple Facebook pages at once.
FAE Productions, YouTube, Fairy Princess Lolly. No, not Fairy Princess Lolly. Fairy Blossom Festival, Twitch,
Right.
and
Well,
And-
I'm
I'm looking
now
at the Twitch one. That one's up and running, yeah.
I'm talking just about Facebook because usually I get notifications for all the different.
Well, no, but
ones.
those are on Fairy Blossom is on Facebook, and Fae Productions is on Facebook, and then the rest is. Well, I recently switched out one of the places that
I'm sorry. What is that noise? I keep hearing something snap. See, that would be the reason why Lolly hasn't yelled at anyone for that noise like she normally
would. She couldn't help it this time. She needed to pop the bubble. Hey, Dana, did you see people are talking to you?
I don't see anything.
Look in the chat. Look in your YouTube.
Oh, no. But then I get a glare on my
Well,
eyeballs.
if you're popping the bubble wrap, does that mean you love it or you hate it?
Yes. You can love something and crush its little head. I assure you.
I wonder, do you suppose that Count Morbid had anything or one in mind when he said that? Did you, Count Morbid?
I don't
No,
have a
Count
Lolly
Morbid
doll or
is
anything.
sweet and innocent and all that's pure. That's what Count Morbid is.
I mean, yes, in like the alternative reverse Spock world. What?
You're talking about the other universe because I'm not there.
It's the
Poppy
mirror
is telling
universe.
Whatever. Mirror. The mirror universe. Yes. Well, Poppy is telling you that your hair looks very nice, famous Dana. That's what she's saying.
Aw.
Ooh.
Well, okay.
Okay.
So here, let me tell you real quick. Can you see where it is right here? Like,
Yes.
Chest level. It was here.
Yes. That's a lot of hair. What did you do with all of your hair?
She made a treasure trove.
I didn't feel like tying it up into little ribbons. I was in a mood.
So you just threw it away?
Dana, do you got a meow meow on?
What?
Meow meow.
You got a moon?
Oh. Yes, she is wearing it.
You got one of my Monias on.
Yes, I do.
I was like, am I not seeing things right?
Well, I have one more thing to open, you guys, but I see our tonight's artist is waiting in the wings. And so we also have to do the drawing for yesterday, and then we will bring her in.
Fantastic.
So, yes, and look, I'm so happy right now because
Oh my lord.
I get to do this.
You are very, very cute, Fairy Princess Lolly. That's all I'm saying.
I'm very what?
I said you're very cute. That's all I'm saying.
I love my bubble wrap. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So first, let's go do the drawing. So this drawing is from Kamala, actually, the person who's like perfume I've been smelling on my wrist all night. Okay, so from her, yeah, she had offered a pack of Luck incense. Luck was in the name. I can't remember the whole name, but it was like Luck incense, and so. And of course, it's her own blend and custom dipped. So that's very cool. And now we are going to go spin the wheel. Yes. Did I hear something?
I too am
Was it
custom dipped.
morbid?
I said I too am custom dipped.
Of this, I have no doubt.
Here it is.
Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel with pain.
I'm spinning the wheel.
Tell us who's going to win.
Spin, spin, spin.
Break a deal. Spin the wheel.
No whammies.
What's a whammy?
There is
A weird little animal who eats your prizes.
What?
it's from an old game show back in the 70s, I think.
Wait, what is?
Make you feel old. Good job.
I'm not sure that Ion has been in the human realm long enough to remember something like that.
You can find out old stuff. They keep track of it.
I know. We just found out the really
Whammy,
long.
whammy, no
for
whammy,
real-
no whammies, no whammies. Stop. Oh, it didn't stop.
That's right. That's exactly right.
I don't even know. I don't even know what's happening right now. Here we go.
Who's Jackass?
Holly has named it. It's from the 80s. It's called Press Your Luck, that game show.
Press your luck. Okay.
You know, this thing would go around and you would win prizes, and when you would stop it, and,
We need a new wheel.
if there was a whammy, you lost all your money or something.
Mm.
Okay, no whammy.
No whammy.
You know, I really should talk to the goblins about doing like a Thunderdome, like with
Oh,
a wheel.
I'm in.
I want to do Thunderdome. That sounds really fun. They do a Thunderdome at Burning Man.
Almost. Isn't there
I
yet?
know, right?
Do they have a Master Blaster?
A master. Rebecca Hefner. Congratulations. Yay. You are the winner for Kamala's Loudhorn, Kamala's own incense from last week. So, but when I do that, I hear the word imperial next. So I don't know. Imperial.
Hero.
That's Tina Turner.
Oh, can we do
I
that?
like that song. I know all the words.
You should sing
What?
it. You should sing it.
I don't think I should. I know
I mean, not
people
right
want
now.
to hear me sing Tina Turner.
I don't want to know the way home.
At karaoke.
I believe the next part of the
Do
show.
you remember we have some poor person waiting in the wings?
I'm
We should keep them distracted too long.
Can you take your broken wings?
Oh,
That's
I
not even.
hate that song.
That's what came to mind. Sorry.
Why is it that the next like 3 lines of the song pop into my head?
Because-
Somebody random starts singing, and then everyone else wants to continue singing. And
I don't know, but I guess my brain is in filth mode tonight because I'm like, eat these buffalo wings and dip them in the sauce. and then something about, I know it's fiery and it stings.
That is like Weird Al mode galore.
I know. I'm channeling Weird Al, I guess, tonight. Okay, I am bringing our guest in now.
I wonder if Weird Al has a song about popping
Bubble wrap?
bubbles. Yes.
I'm sure he does.
Okay, I tried. Welcome, Erin. Hi. Yes. I just want you guys, though, to know I did try to really avoid popping this bubble wrap.
Sure you did.
She did not.
Please do.
I did. It's got it. If it is like within my reach, though, I can't help it. I am compelled.
Someone take it from her.
I gave her a knife. That's not gonna happen.
I don't even. Oh, there it is. Yes. Okay. Well, welcome to the show, my dear. Well, we are so glad to have you back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Yes, you have been here before for the handmade home shopping, but now we kind of get a more. Okay, I really have to if somebody
Stop
comes
popping
take it
the
away.
thing.
Like, my God, I can't stop touching it. I'm like, I'm just gonna touch it. If I can't pop it, I'm just gonna pet the bubble wrap.
It proved to be too great a distraction.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's crazy.
Yes. So
what did she make?
Yes,
I make bubble wrap.
Really? That's amazing.
I mean, I suppose we make a dress out of bubble wrap.
Oh, she can say I like her.
Oh my goodness.
For
Yes.
all
Okay,
future
please.
vendors out there, if you ever mail something to Princess Lolly, just use crumpled paper.
It depends on who you really want to torture. If you want to torture everyone else around me, send bubble wrap. Also, though, the cats love it. So anyway, please introduce yourself and tell us about your business, like your business, where you're from, what you do, and yes, what do you make, as Count Morbid has so eloquently put.
Hi, so I'm Eowyn Elleveve. Elleveve is actually my middle name, but it's also my brand. Once upon a time, you might have known me as Clover Creek Creations. When I started my business, I lived on Clover Creek, and then I moved, and it felt kind of awkward that I was still Clover Creek Creations. But I was also in the middle of kind of rebranding anyway, so I decided to use my middle name so that anything in my brand would be representative of me as an artist, not where I'm from. So I started out in Tacoma, and now I live in Olympia, Washington, which, you know, isn't too far away, maybe half an hour difference, but I'm not on Clover Creek anymore. And yeah, I make upcycled clothing and accessories. So hats and hoods and scarves and coats and skirts, all made from repurposed materials. So I'm saving garments from landfill, and it keeps my costs down to use salvaged materials, and it's good for the environment and makes people happy. And it also means that I get to use a lot of fandoms that I wouldn't otherwise get to use because of some fun legal stuff about using it the second time around. So yeah.
So I'm curious now. Now, Gunther, okay, I have a favor, Gunther. Can you bring me my gloves?
I can.
Bring me my gloves, because guess what? I have so many of your awesome gloves, and I just want to have them on. Like, woohoo! I went to Billboard for some of her
Gunther
gloves
needs more
she's made.
details.
No, Gunther knows.
Which ones?
It doesn't matter. There's a bunch of pairs of them, so
Ones that match
any one
her
of her pairs.
outfit. They have to match, Gunther.
That's what? Don't do that to me. I can't see color.
I think I have blue and pink ones, and then like little itty bitty tiny blue ones. And you even made one time, a custom for my sugar glider, who we discovered loves to crawl inside of your gloves as like a little tube.
Ooh. Yeah, I made an extra tiny one.
Yes, and it is actually still in her cage, so that's pretty cool. And now I'm curious. Nope. Yeah, I'm curious. What got you started doing this? How did you get into this, and et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I have been sewing my whole life, and I had a sewing business before this one, where I made cloth diapers and kind of crunchy granola parenting stuff, sewing. And I realized that I really hate doing the same thing over and over again. I really love making patterns and coming up with designs, but then the mass production piece is just not something that I'm into long term. So doing these one-of-a-kind pieces created for individuals a lot of times, because I do a lot of custom work, means that I get to do something new every time I sit down at my sewing machine, which is really keeps me inspired and makes me happy.
And
I have one of
yeah. Look, like I have so many of your gloves. Nope, not those ones, but all of these ones. Yes. No, and so like every single one, and it's kind of every single one is different because you use the different materials in them. And these ones are.
She literally has a drawer, a massive drawer full of gloves, and they're just gloves.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
And also, you know, as I started making clothing more, I learned just how horrible the fashion industry is as a producer.
Give us the dirty gossip. What do you mean?
Fashion industry.
Very, very, very wasteful industry as a whole, between the exploitation of workers and the use of water, the use of dyes that go into rivers, the transport of materials all over the world, the supply chains. It's just there, you can go on Netflix and find a documentary called The True Cost is a really good one, about the fashion industry and kind of how polluting and how kind of awful it is. All the clothing that you get now, fast fashion, is fashion designed for 2 weeks and then it's meant to be thrown away. It's not meant to last. So clothing is not made well a lot of times. And so the stuff that is also gets discarded because we're used to clothes that we don't mend our clothes anymore. The seasons, instead of having 3 to 4 clothing seasons a year, now we have 52 seasons per year. And
what? Actually, you mean because the clothes go so fast?
Yes, because with fast fashion, a fast fashion company can see something high end on the runway and have a cheap version ready on the shelves a week later between producing and shipping it. So that means that each season is so short that there's new clothing in the stores every week.
Like suddenly, I'm not to name any of the big box stores, but suddenly, $10 shirts at the big box stores, and then they'll not last very long.
Exactly.
There's a word for that, isn't there?
Yes, fast fashion.
No. A word for making things subpar in quality.
Planned obsolescence.
Planned
obsolescence.
Wow, you're on with it tonight.
Y'all bringing it up.
It's like you're basically on top of the 3 R's entirely because you're just taking all of the stuff and like remaking it into everything new. So, and you make it well. So, I still have all of the first things ever that I've got from you. So I will go with that as a testimony to its quality, right?
I can tell you, walking around with her, people compliment her on those gloves all the time. Ask her, where do you get these from? It's a thing. So it's good stuff.
Sure. So because I can actually go into a store and touch the fabrics that I'm going to be using, I can pick the fabrics that I know still have a lot of life left in them. And then I also wash and dry everything on hot before I cut or sew anything. So everything is pre-shrunk, it's disinfected, and it's off-gassed. A lot of times when you buy new clothing, it's still off-gassing. So
what does that mean?
Synthetic materials are made out of oil. So your nylon and your polyester, they're plastic. And so they're still releasing the chemicals that were used to produce the clothing. Same thing with dyes. A lot of the dyes are very caustic.
It's the quote-unquote new car smell.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Wow. So what
sensitivities to like skin allergies and skin sensitivities, eczema, things like that. They can be exacerbated by wearing new clothing sometimes.
Well, and that's one of the things that's really actually, in my personal opinion, that I just think is super great about what you do is because you're environmentally conscious and you're conscious about just all of the different needs, the particular needs that people have, or can have, and you try to make things that are versatile to everybody, at least in my opinion. I was going to ask something, and
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So when you're finding used cloth to use in your work, do you find that you know right away what pieces it's going to be in, or do you just collect a supply and then piece it together later?
I definitely just go and collect materials. So I basically have 3 categories that I collect a lot of, which are sweaters, for the sweater coats, t-shirts for the skirts, and then flannels for the kind of piece together flannel work that I do. So when I go to a thrift store, I go on Memorial Day when it's 50% off. I'll go to 3 different thrift stores and just buy everything that I can. So I have stacks and stacks of sweaters back here. This is all sweaters. You can't really see it, but
So
I can if I make you big. Check it out. I can just
so back
you
here,
on the
all of these
There we
shelves are filled with sweaters. Upstairs in
wow.
my attic, I have bags and bags of t-shirts that I'll pull out and sort.
There's
And
a sweater back there.
I think it's a coat.
There's
Yeah.
the red and blue one back there.
And there's a black and white one next to it.
That one looks like something you'd wear, Ollie. Like you need to have that, Ollie.
She has made many a coat that I have said this about. See, look at those hoods. I mean, is that like the elf hood or what?
I would like
That's
more
That's
than that on
nice.
I like the colors on that one.
And the pockets is
it. Like we could get you a morbid matching coats.
Wait, you like the color on which one, Count Morbid? The black and white one that has no color except black and white, or the red and blue one?
The one she's holding, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
the black and white one. I mean, black and white are kind of your colors.
I've noticed, yes.
And I have made them in every color palette imaginable. And a lot of what I do is actually with the coats, especially, is custom work. So I actually have an order form on my website where you get to choose your own adventure coat, and you get to pick your colors, you get to pick your hood style, your skirt style, what sleeves you want. You get to choose all the colors, and then you put in your measurements, and I make it for your body, and it's exactly what you dreamed of. So it's a real collaborative process when I do that.
I mean,
Question.
And this is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I have a question. When you're cutting up t-shirts and other old clothing, is it important to make sure that no one else is wearing them at the time?
I feel like that's a different video.
Okay.
That's a different video.
Oh, wow.
Oh man, I love it. Okay, let's see.
Production,
Coats,
that's
flannels.
So if you gotta create a custom sweater coat, that's the order form I was talking about. Or if
Where
you
do I find that?
create a custom right under home where it says
Oh, I
create.
see. Where it says create a custom sweater.
In
Right,
my
like,
shop is all ready to wear stuff. So like the coats that are behind me and a bunch of other coats and skirts. It's all stuff that's ready to order. But the custom sweater coat, you start with the basic coat, which is as shown, and these are all my little line drawings about what you can get. And then
I could not make a drawing though like that. So don't, I'm like, those are good drawings. I mean, they're 3D and stuff. I can kind of do stick people, sort of. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then you get to you can either choose from common color combinations, or you can pick any colors that you want. And it's all suggestions with the colors. Because I'm using recycled materials, no two are going to ever look the same. But when I pick the sweaters for your coat, I send you a photo of what I've selected, so you can look through the stack and say, oh yeah, that's perfect, or I really like some more blue in there, or I love all of them but that third one from the bottom. So it really is a collaboration between myself and the client I'm working with, so that they get exactly what they want.
About how long does this process take of getting a custom coat designed?
About 2 to 3 months from the time you place the order until you get a finished coat. I can do it faster if I'm getting married in a month and I want to have this jacket ready for my wedding, I can work with people to get it done faster, but typically it's about 2 to 3 months. So plan ahead if you want to take it to Burning Man, or if you
And
have.
you make them in Gunther sizes, right?
Sorry?
I said, and you make them in Gunther sizes, right?
I do. I make them in every size.
Oh, that is amazing.
Gunther has an incredibly long torso. And
Easy now.
I am a
Dana
very
knows she's made my clothing before.
I am on bottom, and so I struggled my whole life with finding clothing that fit me because I'm also 6 foot tall, which is tall for a female.
wow.
And so I had to do a lot of alterations on my own clothes when, my entire life. And so I feel like sizing, especially American sizing, is fairly arbitrary.
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean a whole lot. And so when people ask me, well, what's the size? The nice thing about the coats is that they're knits. So there is a little bit of a range to them because they're stretchy. But if you get a custom order, it's just you size and it's it.
I'm just saying, somewhere between 6'9" and 7 foot, depending what 7-Eleven I'm walking out of.
That hood that Gunther is wearing right now, I made that 3 years ago for him.
It's big.
And well, it was your size back then.
It's still my size.
It's just a little more.
About the custom order too is as you pick things, you can kind of see where your total's at.
That's what this is right here, right?
You didn't pick at the very beginning. You have to select that basic coat, or it won't let you move forward. So the very first thing you need to do is pick the basic coat, and then all of the things that you added are additional costs. So that would be your cost.
I love how for every one of these you've got it, and then you can clearly see what is meant by each one of these styles. Like it makes it, yeah,
awesome.
There's no question about it's all very clear, and that is that is awesome. I'm having fun though putting together my dream coat over here while you guys are doing whatever.
I'm ready to get a dream coat too then.
Fairy Princess Lolly, I'm being subtle.
If you need inspiration for colors and style, if you just go to designs and there's a at the top menu, you can see a gallery of just hundreds of coats that I've made.
It'd be hilarious.
Okay, wait, where am I going? Where am I going? Tell me again.
If you go to
look in chat real fast.
I didn't
up on the
hear her.
top menu, if you would need inspiration about what you want, design should be right. Yeah, there you go. Go to the coats gallery. It'll just bring up photos and photos of coats that I've created, so you can kind of get ideas of color and get ideas of hem length and sleeve styles and things like that aren't just line drawings too.
Right,
although I feel
all of us showed up into the show with one of those coats on. I'm just saying.
you what with one of the coats on, huh?
I think it'd be hilarious if we all showed up to one of our shows here with all wearing the coats. Just saying.
That'd be cool. Oh man, these are great. And all the
better idea.
Cool. Did you do that on this sun one? Did you actually sew the sun in there, or did the fabric come that way?
No,
That's cool.
I did an applique. That was part of a fashion show that I did for Geek Girl Con a couple years ago. And it was inspired by Taka from Moana.
That is cool.
Oh, so Lolly, I was trying to be subtle, but basically, can we get a link in the bottom scroll?
Oh, to her store.
Yes.
Yeah, because we all want to go play with it.
Well, we're gonna go pick our dream jackets.
yes, you can. But her link is it not scrolling? Oh my gosh, I did not set it. I'm so sorry. I put it in here and then I didn't turn it on. It is going there, but also a link to your store is in the low bar, so it should be in the description on both YouTube and Facebook, and not just actually to your store, but also to your Facebook page and to your Instagram as well. I just sort of got wrapped up in looking at all the cool designs. I know. I mean, I apologize, but only a little bit, because
I was trying so hard to be subtle too. I was trying to be subtle.
The subtlety was pulsating in his forehead. I saw it.
So the HTTP should still get you there, but it's an HTTPS, especially if you do an order, because then it comes in under the secure.
That makes sense.
So silly
agree.
question, because I'm looking at some of the pages myself. Are these considered unisex, or do you have a slightly different male's cut for?
Well, I cut it a little bit differently for masculine bodies. I make the waistband a little bit lower and a little bit narrower. There should be a couple photos in there of masculine ones if you scroll through. But yeah, I do cut it a little bit differently typically. And I do have, there's one that I did that's more masculine. So see how the waist is dropped down a little bit more on his.
It's going to get big here in a second. There we go.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's slightly different, but they are somewhat unisex. And I actually make ones that I bill as unisex that don't have the darts for a bust and are a little bit longer waisted.
I like my hoods. I like the hoods.
Uh-oh, I'm about to have a visitor.
I sneezed.
Uh-oh.
Meow, kitty, kitty.
Yeah, she has... don't step on the things. I love you, but no. Okay. Yes, she in the last week or two, she has suddenly turned into a complete lap cat, which she wasn't really before. I don't know. Maybe it's because she's finally passing through her kitty teenage years, and is settling down or something, willing to be in the lap. So
I think the longer we spend in lockdown, the more comfortable our laps become.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this one, you guys. Look, this is like my coat right here.
Yeah, that is.
I mean,
yeah.
That is a lot of pink.
So
that is every shade of pink she ever wanted.
Speaking of lockdown, my business has actually really changed in the last month or so. I have been doing mostly fabric face coverings and masks these days, just because there's such a need out there. So I do have those also available through my website.
Those have become strangely popular with a lot of people.
They have.
We, as a matter of fact, got some from you as well, I think, early on in the game.
Yeah.
I see. So pre-order
the whole fancy order system.
That is okay. I think mine is actually hanging by the door where the little key stair is. But I'm gonna click on it so that we can see. Oh, I thought I clicked on it. Did I click on it? I thought I clicked on it. Oh, it could just be going slow. No, it's very slow tonight. I don't know why. I thought that you had.
We have a question from the audience.
Oh, okay. What is the question?
So it's how does pricing work? Is it more for plus size people?
It is not. No, that's one of the really important things I feel like is that I am not going to charge anyone a plus size tax. I'm not going to charge a queer tax for my Pride line. It's the same price as any other color. I feel like there is not enough size inclusive clothing in geek culture, especially and it's getting better. It honestly is. But when I started, especially for females, you could either get a men's t-shirt with your fandom on it, or you could get cosplay, and those were your choices.
And like with me, it costs an arm and a leg to get the clothes for me, for my size. Just saying. I'm a plus size though.
So it does take a little bit more fabric to cover a larger body. But for me, I'm sourcing materials that I'm not buying them by the yard.
Right.
So if I use a bigger sweater to start with, I've got more fabric to start with. And I don't feel like it's fair. Beyond children's versus adults, sizing is priced differently, obviously. But no, it's just a flat price for plus size, the same as what you would get.
This one I feel like should belong to me. All hail the Banana King. It's because Gunther loves bananas, actually.
I love bananas. Bananas are okay.
And all the skirts are free size, so they're all one size fits all. They're wrap around. They go around most people a couple times. And I have all of the sizing, the maximum size listed when you look at the skirts.
Ooh, that one's cool. The Guy Fawkes one. Woo-hoo. Remember.
The 5th of November?
Yes, gunpowder, treason, and plot.
Oh.
I'm just like going through everything over here. I'm sorry, I keep being so quiet.
Now. Thanks for hanging out.
I know.
I'm sorry. What?
I mean,
what were you saying? What was the date?
It was the 5th that I can't remember.
Remember the 5th of November.
Lolly, that brown one with the stripe. That one's a
Yeah.
So it's one where I have a lower waist and don't have darts for a bust. So that one's a little bit more, not more masculine, but it's cut a little so that it would fit more.
For whatever reason, the shape of this one is giving me an Assassin's Creed feel. I don't know. It's awesome. I'm like, I like this one. It's kind of sleek looking, right? And I mean, this one with your head down, you've got the hoodie. I'm expecting you to just jump out of the shadows like some elf assassin.
I want that one.
Have you ever worn a sweater and then sat down on a couch and disappeared?
No.
Because you blended.
Yes. I have worn a sweater and sat on a striped couch and sat there for a moment and looked around at myself and went, this is a little weird.
I love this. So today, today for the giveaway, you decided you were going to have some gloves, not dissimilar to what I'm wearing exactly, because they're, of course, your style. I'm actually looking for where you sent me the picture so I can pull it up. I'm correct, though. Yes,
they're right there.
Ooh, pretty.
She's holding them up.
Wait, what?
She's got them in her hands.
Oh, she's got them in her hands. Oh, wait, let me make you big.
Big.
I was looking for the image that you sent,
Embiggen.
but I'm embiggen. Yes, I'm embiggening. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
It's colored.
So these are made from recycled sweaters. They're obviously rainbow. I'm not going to put them on, but your thumb goes through here and your fingers come out here, and they.
Very cool.
Yes, and I know that when you sent us our masks that we got from you, so you did say so they're all pre-washed. They're all, you make them as germ-free as they can be when people buy them. But what would you recommend to people, like, once they get your stuff? What is the process they should do to just ensure that they're not,
So everything that I make is machine washable because I've pre-shrunk everything. I do recommend anything with wool in it. You want to wash on with cold water, just because wool can continue to shrink. Anything t-shirt fabric can just be thrown in any old load of laundry, washed and dried. The coats, just to make them last longer, I recommend machine washing them on a delicate cycle with cold water, and then either hanging them to dry, or I usually let them dry about 80%, and then I'll put it in the dryer on a low heat just to kind of tighten everything back up a little bit, because they do stretch out a little bit over time. But anything that's cotton can just be thrown in the washer and dryer. All of the masks, I'm being very careful to sanitize both before I sew them and then right before I ship them. So I steam them with a steam iron right before I put them in an envelope. Just because right now any extra sanitation is a good idea, especially for something that's going on your face. But I still say, you know, when you get it, iron it again or throw it in a load of laundry. Heat's the best way to kill viruses, of course. So even if you receive something and just put it in a hot dryer, you don't even have to put it through a load of laundry, but if you just put it in a hot dryer for 20 minutes, that should sanitize it fine.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I just thought of a good question, unless it's one you already answered and I wasn't paying attention. You know, especially like for custom orders or various things. Do people ever do a thing where they're like, you know, after people have cleaned out their own closets, basically say, I have a pile of clothing, can you make me something out of this?
Yes, so there's a couple different options. I do some custom t-shirt skirts, the wrap skirts, where somebody has either a t-shirt or a bunch of t-shirts that they want me to make them a skirt with. So I'll do that. With the sweaters, it's a little bit trickier because some sweaters are just better quality than others. So I'm happy to look at them and say, I can work with that. Or a lot of times I'll mix it with fabrics that I have also. So you'll give me 2 or 3 sweaters that have some meaning to you, but might have a hole. Or I've done memorial coats where somebody's partner passed and they gave me their sweaters that I made them a coat and included their sweaters as in a memorial coat.
That's an amazing idea.
Sometimes people, if they gain or lose weight, want to save something that they love, and so I'll incorporate that. I also just take donations. So if you go through your closet and have a bag of t-shirts that you just were thinking you might send to Goodwill, send them my way instead. I'll take them and give them a better life.
Awesome.
Speaking of which, actually, Count Morbid has done that, but he did it by way of me. So I actually still have a bag of t-shirts from Count Morbid that is in my laundry room that is waiting to one day be remanded into your lovely care.
Someday there can be people in the world again.
Also, if you want any pine cones.
He comes up with all these clever ways to give me the things.
It probably would have been great to get you some shirts from my dad when he passed away, because that would have been a really cool skirt to have a bunch of pirate themed t-shirts turned into a skirt. That's what my dad wore all the time, was Captain Morgan shirts.
But I mean, I was going to say, I'm sure I'm not the only person who has t-shirts that meant enough to them that they didn't want to throw out, even if they don't wear anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that is, wow. Okay, so we kind of like talked a lot today. No, I know you like to love on my light, Kitty, but no. I mean, I love you, but
she just totally moved your camera for you.
Yeah. She likes to love on the light that's around the camera for some reason. I don't know why. But thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. So even though you are right now in mask production and making mode, you still have plenty of product that is up on your site that people can go check out, buy, and they can always at any time still, of course, order custom things. And that, as I understand it, I'm not misstating, am I?
Nope, not at all.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to say before we let you go tonight?
Just everybody stay safe and stay healthy, and thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming. Your work's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, very much.
Very much so.
Good night.
No,
Yay.
thanks for hanging out. There's no button.
What?
I told you I had good questions.
You
You
did have
are
a good
good
question.
questions.
Actually, your face is a good question.
I feel like we need to get more of that monochromatic one. Because I think
Count Morbid. Count Morbid needs the 5th of November one.
it's the
Or the
10th
black
of
and white.
November, or the 25th of November. Which is very
No,
November.
Count Morbid never asks questions though. He almost never asks any questions. So I'm glad that he felt inspired to ask some good questions tonight.
What in the world
I
is
don't
that?
ask a lot of questions. I just ask good ones.
No, you asked a lot of them tonight. Like, where's the link? What's going on? Why can't I just walk away?
Yes. Well, no. I was going to say, to be fair, the last few times there's been a vendor, I've been like, Sir Nettle! You know, for the last few
there was something I was gonna say. I don't remember. Whatever. I do still have my last unboxing. Can we unbox it?
That's not a box, is it?
No. I mean,
Dana, I swear, your answer to the princess is going to get us both in trouble. Knock it off.
I mean, what am my unbagging? I need to find a clever way to enter my own giveaway. I need more gloves. No.
I am currently working on that, actually.
So I'm pretty sure I know what this one is, and it has come a very long way from Her Majesty's kingdom.
Which Majesty's?
Her Majesty the Queen of England, of course.
Oh, that Majesty. Man.
Ow! My nails are too long, you guys. Oh, they're too
I
long.
thought you stabbed yourself with a knife. I was like, oh no.
No, I bumped my nail.
We need to get the nails did.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I know what this is because, well, I mean, it better be what I think it is. Or else, dun, dun, dun.
Another package.
Inside the package.
Actually, it's conveniently, very safely wrapped in this.
Oh no. It still has sound effects. It's full popping bubble wrap this evening.
You know those really big pillows of bubble wrap? There was one in the middle of my floor last night, and I stepped on it, and everybody who was standing around talking like froze and turned and looked at me.
This sounded like a gunshot going off. I'm sure.
It did actually. It was like midnight, so I probably woke the neighbor.
Well, remember when we were on our way to our mission to get the hula hoop from Pixie Dance Hoops earlier? How was that this week? The weekend? And I opened up one of my books that I had got. This book.
159 billion-year-old book.
Yes, the one that's over 100 years old.
She showed us all the pictures in reverse. Yes.
Over on. So this is the third book. There was 3 of them in the whole series, and
This is
it took them a very long time to get here because it's been a while but like I said, they came from they
had to swim
from from a far away place where they
Across the channel.
roam, where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face. It's barbaric, but hey, it's home. I'm really trying to be careful opening this as opposed to going wild with the sharp knife. Because I don't.
So it's different than normal.
Yes. Because I'm not going wild with the sharp knife. Okay, here it is. Okay.
Another package.
Dun, dun, dun. Is it upside down? Here it is. So this is the last book. It is The Reign of King Cole. And look at this one is in, I mean, comparatively, it's in
It's
really
in great
good.
condition. Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was
like,
a mighty fine soul.
look. I used to have a tiny little record when I was a kid that had this tune. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. And he called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers three. And I still remember that. So ooh, it has writing on the inside. What's it say? It says
It's a book
Philip.
that's supposed to have writing on the inside.
It says
That's
Philip
wonderful.
Miles, Christmas, 1933. It looks like it was written actually with a whoops, knives everywhere. It looks like
Yes, I am. They're born that way.
a quill. It says it's from the Ellises. The Ellises. The Ellises. Here's the. Yes, this is. I really want to read these. Well, I tried reading for the first time in the Hedge. I don't know, maybe a week ago or so, where I just picked up one of the books from one of our authors, our Friday authors, and then I read the first chapter of that. And I love it. It's so colorful. It's amazing. And this one says 1901 in the front. I don't know if you guys saw that. It's right. See right there. Little teeny tiny below King Cole says 1901. Man, that makes this book over 100 years old too. Isn't that cool?
Right.
Oh, that's older than you are.
Yes, but barely older than you are. And then here's the back. Oh, ooh, the spine of this one's cool. Look at the spine. It's black. And here's the back. I don't know. I was thinking of maybe doing some reading again in the Hedge. I like to read out loud. So that is it. I now have them all.
You have now unbagged your stuff.
What? Yes, this is sadly the Reign of King Herla is my least decorated book. But here's what the front of this one looks like. But this one did actually come with a cover on it, so it's got the line drawing, but it's not colored in like these other ones were. Although the inside, if I recall, the inside is still in color. But now I've got all three finally. Oh, that's so cool. I'm so excited. There they are. Dun, dun, dun.
Now you need a new bookshelf to put them on.
No. Well,
I always need more bookshelves. Yay. Okay. It is that time where we look at the news. Are you guys ready? There's quite the list this evening.
all the
Wait,
news.
what do you mean you vote for one? We
news.
haven't even had an article stated yet, Count Morbid. I mean, you've already put a vote in for one. You don't even know what whatever. He's just pre-voting. He's like, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I just vote for number one. Okay, let's see.
I don't think he likes to read much.
Oh, yes. The Shakespeare lover over there. No, he doesn't like to read at all.
Words,
this
words,
is cool
words.
sounding. Words, words. Don't you have that as a tattoo, Count Morbid?
No, I love reading. I just hate democracy.
Oh.
I mean, that's it, actually.
So you should be able to read what you want to read. You shouldn't have to vote on what you want to read before you get to read it.
Okay, so the way this normally works, you guys, is I pick two of these articles, and then we vote on which one I'm going to read. So this sounds kind of cool. Let's see. Well, there was
Maybe we should
something.
change
Weren't you saying there was something about a? Is it this? It the Lucha Libre wrestlers sew face masks?
no,
No.
that's one of them. But there's one that's a plague doctor one in there that me and Morbid picked out.
There's a plague doctor.
Morbid and I.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with yourself there, Morbid, but you gotta knock it off. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks,
No one's
Morbid.
scared.
We, all the way home.
Let's see. I don't see anything about a plague doctor in here, though.
What?
Oh, wait. Is this it? The police hunt a prankster caught strolling around the suburb dressed as a 17th century plague doctor.
That one,
Okay.
Yes, the one that says plague doctor is the one about the plague doctor.
Yes, because right now in the news, there's only one article that talks about plague doctors. Just one.
That he sent you.
How do you know what's on the rest of this list, Count Morbid?
Science.
Whatever. I think this one actually sounds cool too. So, a sorceress's kit was discovered in the ashes of Pompeii. Although I'm pretty sure that everybody wants to hear about the plague doctor as opposed to the sorceress's kit.
Because either her spell didn't work or it worked really well.
Yeah, the spell summon volcano.
She threw the girl in and only to discover it wasn't a virgin and
spit it back out.
Everything was all down. Yeah, volcano rejected it. Oh my gosh, I feel like there's a story there.
You said virgin. I thought you said Virginian.
You thought I said what?
Virginian.
For the love of God, just read an article.
Police hunt prankster. Wait, am I sharing it? No, I'm not sharing it. Okay, hold on. I gotta share it. I'm reading your article. Okay, normally we let people vote, but you guys, I guess you're just insistent tonight that we're gonna do the police hunting prankster.
And the voting also makes
fine. Police hunt
times as long.
Dress a doctor.
You're lagging a little bit.
I mean, I didn't realize you were so impatient to hear all the news. Dressed as a 17th century plague doctor with a long black cloak, hat, and beaked mask. I just don't understand why they put that last part in there, to be honest, because if you're dressed as a 17th century plague doctor and you don't have like the long black coat, hat, and beaked mask, what kind of 17th century plague doctor are you, right?
There may be some people that aren't as quite as erudite and therefore might not know what a plague doctor is.
But there's going to be pictures, right? I mean, pictures, and they're worth 1,000 words. Police are looking for someone who has been going for their daily walks. This is sort of like the top hat story, by the way. This is for going for their daily walks while dressed as a 17th century plague doctor during the coronavirus lockdown. People in Norwich have spotted the person wearing a long hat and pointed beak-like mask. Many more people in the community are worried children and have reported. I'm sorry, sir.
So instead, they have to hand out Posey to the kids.
Pockets in my flowers.
Jade Gosbell. Candy, it's good. Here, I don't know if I want candy from the plague doctor, right? What do you call this one? C19. Jade Gosbell, who saw the walkers, he was wearing a full black suit. It just looked ridiculous. I was kind of offended by this article, to be honest. It's attention, something like that, because normal people just didn't do that. Jade said she was worried her mom, who has a phobia of masks, would bump into the person in costume. Well, if she does, then she is obviously not observing the 6 foot social distancing rule.
Right.
I don't even know what's going on with that spider in the corner, but I want it to go away because it's gross looking. It's like it's got a mushroom on its butt or something.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll, but it's not letting me scroll.
Oh, my Lord.
I don't know what to say. Anywho, kids would be frightened. My mom would be frightened. However, some people really don't think it's that deep. They just think he's having a laugh. He's just trying to find something to do with himself during the isolation and lockdown. Norfolk police said that they were aware of the individual and that they would like to identify them to provide words of advice about the implication of his actions.
Why do you need advice?
I
Norfolk is
know
not
exactly
the only
what I
area
am
that
doing,
has
sir.
reported these sightings. Male online reader Cecile Papard sent this picture of a similarly clad individual in Crouch End in North London, taken last Thursday. Of all places, how can London? I mean, really, have they never been to like Camden Market where all the goths hang out? Come on.
I mean, isn't Robert Smith from there?
Oh, good God.
Come over, he's your friend. Tell me.
Well, I confess, I find this article actually somewhat offensive. I mean, really, people are calling the police because, that person is just dressed for attention, and that somehow isn't okay. You do not like what that person is wearing, even though it's fully. You couldn't possibly get more conservative, right? Than to be covered from head to toe.
Well, it was the same story, but the link or the version that I found was slightly more. Well, it was from the BBC, and it was they actually had a historian speaking on it, going, "Well, it's actually quite an appropriate outfit, all things considered." You know,
really, it is.
Yes, Danny Buck, a historian at the University of East Anglia, who spotted the picture, said, "It's quite a smart-looking costume, and it's important people realize that in the 17th century, plague doctors were the brave ones who went out to see the people with diseases." You know, it was...
Well, that's a positive spin.
Yes, yeah, well, like I said...
Actually, that I agree with.
Spin. You know, the article, the version that I found of this story was much more, well, what else would you be wearing for a stroll around the park right now?
How responsible.
I don't know. They're afraid the outfit will frighten children. And I'm afraid of a lot of people's clothing when I leave the castle and venture out into the public market. But you don't find me calling 911 about it. I'm so shocked at this perspective on the article. I don't even know what to think. Like, I hate masks. I do not like, I mean, I have like masquerade masks, but I do not like when other people are wearing masks and I need to talk to them. I do not like talking to a mask, okay? I find them creepy and weird. It's why I don't like that one terrible band that has a bunch of burlap masks on their face.
Oh, dear God. Do you mean Slipknot?
Yeah.
That is what I mean. Yes. There's another one, a bunch of clowns. Insane Clown Posse, right? Aren't they
First off, that's face paint.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it tells you what I know. Like, whatever. But yes, definitely
yes,
Barry,
Princess
not.
Lolly, tell us more about how you don't like people who dress weird in public.
I mean,
please,
oh Lord.
I
will. How offensive we can be.
Yes. What's that like?
I don't like those things, personally speaking, but I'm not trying to be out there policing them. Oh, I'm sorry. I just might find somebody else's face mask disturbing, and therefore, Ion, tell the story of top hats, Ion.
Wait, real quick. The version of the article I found was again slightly more positive.
Well, I very much approve of the let's sit out on our balcony and watch people in Plague Doctor stroll by and judge them on their historical accuracy as pretentiously as possible. I mean, that's pretty fun.
Well, like one, yeah. Other
next thing you know, they're going to think we're in the SCA.
Others came to the individual's defense saying, I admit he is weird, but what harm is he doing? He made me giggle. And another pointed out, it's not illegal, and if he can't wear it now, then when can he?
Wow.
So like I said, I liked my version of the article because a lot of it had a much more positive spin.
It makes me want to see what public reactions would be. So get something like a burlesque dancer, right? In the barest possible minimum clothing to be seen in public with a plague doctor mask on, and have them stroll for a walk through Central Park. And then let us see, by comparison, which one is just so much more offensive. Wait, somebody did that grocery shopping? What?
Yes. Let me.
He's like, oh, hold on. There's an article out there. I'm slow on the uptake tonight. Apparently, this has already been done.
I saw a person with pool noodles stuck to a pool noodle crown on top of their head, and all the pool noodles are going out all different directions from them as they're standing in line with their shopping cart.
Which keeps people away from them. They've built a perimeter.
Anyone gets close, you can swing your head and a whap.
A lot of people have been using this as an opportunity to wear whatever their apocalypse wear would be. Which
actually I think is awesome, right? Yeah. I feel like I want to see more of it. I want everybody to just wear whatever they want to wear, because maybe then society at large will learn that it just doesn't matter.
I mean, I'll just start walking around naked if that's okay.
I don't like pants.
No, Dana doesn't like pants. But no, I agree with you completely that we should be allowed to wear whatever we want. It's really gotten kind of weird. It's always been like that, though. People always judge you by your clothes. There was greasers. There's, when you had long hair, it's been a thing, and it's gotten ridiculous.
Blame Beau Brummel.
Billy Joel.
No.
Billy Joel. Only the good guy.
Beau Brummel is the.
He's
an 18th century jerk.
Baby. You just give it half a chance. See?
I mean,
wait, I found one. Here, 1 second.
That's one of my favorite games. It's called Give Me a Word. It's where you give me a word, and I try to find a song with that word in it.
We played that.
What?
We played that at the Wild West show. We had a lot of fun. We were also drinking.
I remember no such thing.
Because you were drinking.
She must have had a lot to drink that night.
Okay, that is an awesome outfit.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
And here, let me see if I can. Yeah, go big real quick.
Okay, yes. I'm going to embiggen you.
Bigums. Bigums.
I'm trying to see if I can just scroll.
I love
Because
it.
basically she was like, this was stuff she had lying around the house, and
and enforcing social distancing.
Yeah,
don't you have a cowl like that, Count Morbid? One of those a feathery cowl?
Kind of. It's a shoulder wrap. It's more of a hoodie thingy, but yes.
Hoodie.
But yeah, like Ian was saying, the hoop skirt is especially great for maintaining social distancing.
I know. I love it.
It's hard to tell, but I know there's one of these pictures that I've seen online where there's somebody standing next to her who is very much doing the "Dear God, what is that thing?" expression. Let me see if I.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'll love this expression even.
Oh yeah. But let me see if I can find if that one picture is in here. Oh yeah, here's one gentleman next to her.
Just
gentleman is a rough estimate.
Yeah.
Hey, I like his cut there. Hey, a bunch of bikers.
But yeah, you can show the other people in the group now, because I think you get the general idea. But I have seen Plague Doctor versions like this that lean a little more into the avian kind of take on it.
I love it. I don't know. I think it's great. I want one of those cool plague doctor masks that's pink. I keep seeing it go around Ye Old Book of Faces, but they're really super pink, and I want one of those. I would wear one if it was like that.
Well, I was gonna say I have friends who are doing patterns and making them out of floral prints.
I mean, that's what I want. Can I be a pink and blue like bubblegum pop plague doctor?
Oh no.
I have
Yeah,
some
Plague Fairy.
fabric with pink flamingos on it.
Plague fairy.
Ooh, pink flamingos sound cool.
Wait, did you say flamingo?
I have some white fabric with pink flamingos on it. I haven't used yet because it's going to go with the rest of the pink fabric that I have.
It's
What
time
are
for
you
you
gonna
to
do
make
about
Fairy
that?
Pink Folly a new
I'm gonna make
skirt
a quilt.
mask.
A quilt. Dang it. That sounds like an amazing skirt.
Yeah, it sounds like an amazing skirt and mask even.
Right, quilted.
Right.
If only we knew a vendor who could take a bunch of different fabric and sew something together.
I know, right? Gosh.
Yeah, only if we knew
You know,
a
I
couple
feel like
people
there'd
with
be
a
a market
sewing
for that.
machine.
Okay, here we go. So now the other one that I had was the Sorceress's kit that was discovered in the ashes of Pompeii. Let's see. Bigfoot practicing social distancing.
Champ.
Hungarian couple recreate scenes from Game of Thrones and Ghost during the lockdown. San Jose woman transforms house into fairy wonderland amid COVID-19 crisis. Dang it, what do I want to...
Ooh, Fairy Wonderland.
Okay,
I vote for not that one. No, I'm kidding.
Fairy Wonderland, #1. Game of Thrones pictures, #2. Ashes of Pompeii with the Sorceress kit, #3.
Yeah,
Okay, you
Morbid,
guys.
your
Voting
type
time.
of thing in a Wonderland is a haunt, and you go there all the time.
If you are in the audience and you have an opinion on which one of these articles you want me to read next, now is the time that you press 1, 2, or 3 in the comments. 1 is for the Fairy Wonderland, 2 is for the Game of Thrones pictures, and 3 is for the Sorceress, and the vomiting volcano of Pompeii. Okay, I see one vote for 1 vote for 2, and Famous Dana and Brenda together have 2 votes for 3. Anybody else? Oh wait, no, I see. Count Morbid, you don't get a vote twice.
Yeah, I'm not
were you
voting.
looking
I didn't want to
at
vote. I
the
wanted to
hand,
let the people vote because they're watching us. So let the people vote.
Marie and Brenda actually have voted for #3.
Stupid democracy.
I hate how democracy works. It's so voting.
So 3 is in the lead.
Yes, 3 is in the lead with 2, and this is how much time we have left on the counter. Yes, so it was 1 was for the Fairy House, 2 was for the Game of Thrones pictures, and 3 was for Pompeii. Okay, 3 it is. I confess I kind of want to see the Game of Thrones. I kind of want to just see them all, though. So here we go. Sorceress's kit. Here we go. Smithsonian.
That doesn't even sound like a real place.
I've seen a resource book that says this includes an explorer's pack and a dagger and sorry.
Smithsonian is fake news.
It's all fake.
Everybody knows that Pompeii wasn't real. The kit contained carved scarab beetles, tiny dolls and skulls, crystals, phallic amulets, mirrors, and gems. A sorceress's kit was discovered in the ashes of Pompeii. I wonder how they know it's a sorceress. It's probably a box of small trinkets was likely used to perform fertility and love rituals and to look for omens about birth and pregnancy. The treasure trove emerged from Regio 5, an area of the city that has been under recent excavation. In total, archaeologists found around 100 little objects, including buttons made of bone, carved scarab beetles, miniature penises, tiny skulls, and little dolls. It is believed the objects may be part of a sorceress's toolkit used for fortune telling and to bring good luck. A press release from the Archaeological Park of Pompeii details.
I know this is
Restorationists have
why would you need miniature penises to bring fortune? Never mind.
Well, those aren't for the fortune spells. Those are for the fidelity spells. Restorationists have cleaned up the objects, and now historians and archaeologists are examining them to understand their meaning and significance. They are objects of everyday life in the female world and are extraordinary because they tell micro stories, biographies of the inhabitants of the city who tried to escape the eruption, says Massimo Ossana, Director General of the Archaeology Park. Since there were no gold or precious objects in the trove, which wealthy citizens of Pompeii liked to flaunt, the cache of charms was likely not owned by the mistress of the house or a member of the family. Instead, Ossana tells Italian news agency ANSA that the owner of the sorceress's kit was likely owned by a slave or a servant. The objects could have been part of ritualistic jewelry used in ceremonies for things fertility, seduction, or to look for omens about birth or pregnancy. One hypothesis, they could have been necklaces that were worn during rituals rather than being used to look elegant.
Okay.
Whoever owned the box may still be in the house. Oh, meaning they're still excavating the whole thing. That's kind of cool, actually.
I was like, how?
How
does that look even?
I'm pretty sure a necklace of phallic symbols is not going to protect them from a volcano.
Have you tried?
Other recent finds include a horse that died while saddled up and ready to flee the doomed city. Wasn't Pompeii an island?
No.
No, it's a volcano.
It was not an island.
No, I mean, like, it's on the island of Crete, right? No, Pompeii is, like, on the island of Crete, right?
I don't think so.
No?
Okay, let's look it up.
Well, where is it?
Uncle Google.
I thought it was on an island.
Near Naples in the Campania region of Italy.
Oh. Well, that sounds like mainland, then. For some reason, I thought it was on an island. And I was just thinking, where are they going to flee to?
It's just above the ankle of the boot.
Why?
I mean, I guess I find it interesting that so much of the same symbolism is used today. You know, that it's.
I'm sorry, are you confused why then and now they still use penises?
I mean,
if you want, someone wants to buy me little penises on earrings, I will definitely wear them.
oh
No,
my Lord. The views and opinions of the
No.
fairy do not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Fairy Princess Holly.
Are you done, Count Morbid? Are you finished
They're
yet?
still in fashion. They are still in fashion.
Even with 1 week turnaround.
Oh my!
No, I'm just saying that I find the perseverance of these traditions remarkable and cool.
I'm having fun tonight. Just saying, guys.
Oh, look,
I love it.
Because you're already wearing horns.
Right.
you know, I'm just gonna put him on mute. Dang it. Are you trying to get me to kick you? Yeah, exactly. He's like, surely she'll kick me over this one. I win.
And
No.
the crowd goes wild.
Still
No.
not an island.
It's still not an island.
Okay.
I mean, I was just wondering how you could take a dog-driven Uber there if it's on an island.
Well, and put little necklaces of penises around the dog.
Oh,
too.
no.
No, you guys are all fired.
What did I do?
Okay. You were having fun. You were having fun at my expense by laughing along with Count Morbid.
I was not having fun at anybody's expense. I was simply admiring the way that you handled such delicate situation by muting the count.
I didn't mute the Count. Is he muted? He didn't. He's not muted. Oh, he is not muted. Faking it. He might have muted himself, but I did not mute him.
Strongly suggesting a thing. That's all.
He's just faking it. He's not muted at all. He's just over there like.
Who muted Lolly?
Whom you lolly? I think higher than that one now.
Body
Yeah, what?
language. Okay.
What? Bulky
Wrong
language?
song.
Body language.
Oh, no, that isn't the wrong song. That's the right song. Body language. That's Ursula.
Yes.
It's
Good God, people.
that's the song I like to sing at karaoke if I'm going to sing a song from that show. We'll try to open this one.
You know,
There it is.
you do have quite a singing voice. I will give you that.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Long.
This penis, isn't it neat?
Oh,
Don't you think my collection is complete?
You know, the thing is that with the recent conversation, you said, "Look at this piece," and it isn't what I heard.
That's not what she said.
Oh, that isn't what you actually said. That.
Why did you think I turned red?
So there's some articles, I'm sure.
Oh, there's articles and stuff.
Scottish witchcraft book published online, or the fairy house, the San Jose woman transforms house into fairy wonderland.
Fairy Wonderland would be great.
Yes.
Yes,
Really?
it would be.
You want to read? You don't want to hear about the Scottish witchcraft book published online? That sounds amazing.
Nah,
does too.
I'm thinking that sharing state secrets would be like horrible.
Oh,
Fine.
wow.
Fairy house it is. Okay, wait. I'm just going to ask people in the audience, those of you watching at home, if you want to hear about the fairy house, number 1. If you want to hear about the witch book, number 2. Now is the time to vote. And go. The timer has begun. And mostly I'm doing the timer thing because Count Morbid suffers every time I do it. And I just want to prolong his suffering. Uh-oh. 1 vote for 2. Wait, we have 2 votes for 2 and 3 votes for 2. Lots of votes for 2.
Of course.
3 votes for 2 and 2 votes for 1. It's 3-2 right now. Oh wait, it's 3-3 right now. Okay. It's 3-3. So we have 3 votes for the fairy house, which is number 1, and 3 votes for the witchcraft book, which is number 2. All right. Which one did you want, Dana?
The Fairy Wonderland, number 1.
Fine. Fairy Wonderland, and then we're doing the witchcraft book because I super want to read that one. So we're doing them both, but we're going to do them in the order of Fairy Wonderland first. Share screen. Here we go. Coronavirus San Jose woman transforms house into fairy wonderland amid COVID-19 crisis. I like how that it tells you that this is happening though in San Jose as the first part of the article, because it wasn't clear enough in the title, right? Like San Jose woman, but then they're like, you know, Memphis, Tennessee. There's a new neighborhood of sorts in San Jose, Fairy Glen. Lily Gaz has transformed the area in front of her Willow Glen home on Celestine Avenue into a fairy wonderland. It's a plan that's been in the works for months. She first saw an article about a similar idea months ago. That was it. I knew I had to do this, she said. Gauzian was... What in the what is happening? No, I don't know where that noise is coming from, but it should silence itself.
Silence!
Can you guys
hear you?
It's not me.
I can't hear it.
Oh, it's this. Okay, you
Oh,
be silent.
Yeah, tell it to shut up.
Okay.
Very good.
There we go. Okay.
Right.
Let's see. Every day, she discreetly adds a new door with a little message written on it. Sometimes kids leave something in return. Not me, but fairies get a lot of notes from the kids, and on those, they express how happy they are that the fairies are in Willow Glen. My heart fills up with joy every single time. It never gets old. It's beyond what I hoped for. Gauzian says as soon as she can get enough supplies, she hopes to expand the fairy wonderland to other yards. They're going to make a fairy neighborhood. That's kind of cool. I want to do that. Okay, I guess this is her. So let's see what she... That's a lot of microphones. There. I'm trying to get the sound to turn back on, but it doesn't want to.
It feels oppressed.
But at least we can see, you guys can see the pictures. You can see the video playing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just can't hear it.
I can't hear it either. I keep trying to push the little button, but it's not wanting to do the thing. Dagnabbit. Those are awful cute, though. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should just start going and finding trees and fairifying them.
Doors and flowers.
I know.
Then people will start knocking, asking for cookies.
Well, if they're Girl Scouts, we should definitely consider what they have to offer.
Only as long as they're made of real Girl Scouts.
Oh, like elves. Oh, man. Okay. So the next article was I closed it, dagnabbit, because I didn't know what was talking, and I was like, oh, my God. Okay. Come back here, article. There it is. What?
Nothing.
Okay, here we go. Scottish witchcraft book. Scottish witchcraft book published online. And it says, the pages of a 350-year-old book used to record the names of those accused of witchcraft in Scotland have been published online. Whoa. The Names of Witches in Scotland, 1658 collection was drawn up during a time when the persecution of supposed witches was rife. The book also lists the towns where the accused lived and notes of confession. Wow. It is believed many were healers practicing traditional folk medicine. Some of the notes give small insights into the lives of those accused. It is recorded that the spouse of Agnes Watson from Dumbarton is Umquilly, which means deceased. Can somebody look that word up? How do you say that word? Let's see. A majority of those accused of witchcraft were women, although the records reveal that some men were also persecuted. John Gilchrist and Robert Semple from Dumbarton. Oh, Dumbarton was just rife with witches. Are recorded as sailors. A James Lairyle of Alloway, Ire, is noted as clanged. What does that mean? In other words, cleaned or made clean. Oh, okay, clanged. I like this old language. While Mr. Laryle's fate is unclear, the term probably meant banishment or death. Did somebody look that word up? This umquil?
Yes, it's a Scottish. It's of old, former, late, deceased.
How is it pronounced?
Wheel.
Umquil. I wonder if it sounds different if you hear it with a Scottish accent.
A more modern spelling would be Umwhile.
Umwhile?
Yeah.
That makes even less sense. The passing of the Scottish Witchcraft Act in 1563 made witchcraft or consulting with witches capital crimes in Scotland. It is estimated that between 3,000 and 5,000 women were publicly accused of being witches in the 16th and 17th century in Scotland, a much higher number than in England. Wow, this is so cool. I mean, sad, but cool.
Yeah, a little bit.
The outbreak of witch hunting in 1658 to 1662, the period in which the list of names was created, is generally seen to represent the high water mark of persecution of accused witches in Scotland. In many cases, the victims were healers, part of a tradition of folk medicine. Their treatments sometimes helped poor communities, but accusations of witchcraft could crop up if they did not work. Yes, if it works, you're a healer. If it doesn't work, you're a witch. Die. That's horrible.
Live or die, I guess.
My gosh, I thought if it. Let's see. One more article.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
I'm good with going. If you're good with going.
Let's see. 15 fairy tales from around the world. No. 16 weird dreams people actually had during the pandemic. Why is it written like it's over? I mean, let's do the Game of Thrones one.
Oh, the
recreates Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I do actually want to hear about the dream one too when we get a moment.
Well, it's 9:25. I didn't realize actually quite how late it was, so this might have to be our last one.
Okay.
Hungarian couple recreate scenes. I feel like there should be an S on the end of that word. From Game of Thrones and Ghost during the lockdown. Here we go. Is this Daenerys and Jon Snow?
I mean,
or Game of
I hope
Thrones,
not.
or no,
Yes.
I mean,
that's
what's
not.
that?
No, that's the guy that died that became a vegetable.
You mean her husband Khal Drogo?
Yeah. Because he looks like a vegetable.
Bored by the weeks-long coronavirus lockdown, not Hungarian. Oh wait, that was a question mark. Bored by the weeks-long coronavirus lockdown, not Hungarian film buffs, Fanny and Norbert, who have recreated dozens of scenes in their flat from Ghost, the Game of Thrones, Scarface, and other films using whatever household utensils they could find. The couple's photos quickly went viral. Ew! That was such a gross picture. Oh no, whatever. Let's see. They used to work as improvisation actors before the coronavirus crisis.
Improvisation actors.
Are you saying that that's redundant, Count Morbid?
Well, no, I've just never. One would say improv actors. I've never heard it called improvisation actors before.
Well, it's just the whole word.
Maybe it's shorter in Hungarian.
Lord.
Okay, I'm skipping to the pictures. Like, we get it. Where's the pictures? What? No, wait. There's got to be more pictures here. So, what did that say? What?
What? What?
Maybe at the top where the first picture was, you can scroll to new pictures if your mouse is in there.
Nude pictures. What?
No, new.
I'm trying, but there's like no. There's no what? Oh, that's so gross. I hate looking at that every time I scroll by it. Okay, couple, talking about stuff. I don't even know. That's it. What? There was just the one? I don't know. I am very disappointed right now.
Was it a gallery that you could like click on the sides?
Well, no, that's what I was looking for the first time around, but there's nothing there.
Nothing.
Ooh, yes.
Nothing. Tra-la-la.
Clearly, we're supposed to follow them on Instagram or Twitter or whatever they're on.
I don't even know, but I'm very disappointed by that article. Maybe it's
Solly is very disappointed with you.
maybe
That article feels bad.
Silly Hungarians.
No, it occurred to me that maybe there was a script blocker that was maybe blocking something,
That's possible too, yeah.
but it's not coming up as that. So whatever. I'm now very disappointed. That's all. Just disappointed. Okay, what did you want to? You wanted to hear about the dreams.
I did, because that's interesting.
Okay, here we go. The weird dreams. Because I just don't want to end on that really disappointing note. So these dreams better actually be weird. I mean, I have weird dreams, so I know what weird dreams are.
That's kind of why I'm like, let's do this.
I am 100% judging this article right now and these people and their weird dreams. 100%. Okay, let's see.
If your dreams do not register on Fairy Princess Lily's scale, she's going to be disappointed again.
Again, dreams, weird, vivid, wild, memorable dreams have become a staple of my pandemic experience. A staple. I mean, I don't think staple is the word that they mean to use there, right? A staple means that it's a thing that is necessary, right? It's one of the fundamental things that you.
Some people do use it as a constant.
Okay, well, constant makes better sense. Let's see. Here we go. And I'm not the only one. Across social media, people are using the hashtag pandemic dreams to share how the global coronavirus crisis is manifesting in their unconscious minds. Plenty of cool articles have ventured to explain why this is happening too. Personally, I'm not interested in the why. Let's see. Here's skipping forward to the dreams. The one where you're back in college. I had a dream. What?
I don't know if that applies to everybody, but fair enough.
I had a dream the other night that I was walking through Manhattan and it was absolutely crowded with college-age women. Everyone was in big groups. No one was wearing a mask, and I was holding my breath and running to get into my apartment, which in dream logic was a college dorm room. There were doormen in every building, and they were all yelling at the maskless passerby, asking if their lives were worth it. It was so chilling and real from the class dynamics of the contagion. It was so wild to wake up to and realize just how pervasive and constant the fear, go away, ad, has become. The one in a stressful spa. I had a dream last night that college dream, not weird, that my favorite spa had reopened, and I learned I was one of the first allowed to go in after it had closed down due to the coronavirus. It sounded so amazing, and then I got there and I learned I could only enjoy the spa while wearing a hazmat suit along with a gas mask. That's kind of funny. There were a number of other safety precautions that were being taken, but I remember it was the least relaxing thing possible. And the look of horror on all the employees' eyes was very sad.
I kind of like the image of someone in a hazmat suit and a pool of mud, like a mud bath thing.
It is. It's kind of like those strange where you see the children on playgrounds wearing the face masks, you know, the photography. That would be sort of a cool, that would be kind of a cool visual image to see a photographer create. The one where you are disappointed by Bernie Sanders.
Not
What?
by
How is this a
not by Bernie Sanders.
I'm always disappointed by Bernie
Oh,
Sanders.
where are you disappointed? Let's see. The one where you can't stop touching everything. The one that's too. You see, I just feel like these folks don't.
They don't know how to dream properly.
These dreams aren't weird. I feel like these are just so common and kind of boring, to be honest. I mean,
So, Fairy Princess Lily, give us an example of a dream that is properly weird for you.
so I had a dream a few weeks ago where I was in ruins of some kind of a city.
Okay.
So it was like a big city, but everything was, it was just sort of like the steel skeletons of buildings and broken concrete, you know, just cluttered and littered the streets, which were sort of muddy due to rain. There wasn't any electricity. And in the dream, I was going, so everybody had the masks going on and some form of post-apocalyptic gear, because plague and contagion were everywhere, and it wasn't just coronavirus, but that was what had started the whole thing that led to this collapse that I was now in. And I was going down some street, and I entered into what was like would have been maybe some kind of a warehouse, but there were no more walls, because they had maybe been glass walls and they had just been smashed and crashed in. And so it was now kind of open air, but all of the pylons and everything were there. So the structure was, and it was actually some weird kind of market. And in this market were just vendors, I guess, sort of just set up kind of rummage sale style at all of these tables. And what they did was they would go outwards into the broader land and rummage through things and then bring stuff back to this market where they were all hustling and bustling and trading. But the person who ran the market nobody knew who it was, because he was always fully masked. But in part of this market, it went down into the ground like a chasm, and maybe the ground had in some way opened or something, but there was everything that was surface level, but then there was a chasm, and it had initially beams and struttings that you could walk across. Like they went across, and if you were to walk on them, there was nothing below you. If you were to fall, you would just fall clanging through all this stuff. And it just went down imperceptibly far.
Okay.
And the guy who was kind of like the Al Swearingen, sort of the overlord of this market, who was very feared because he had some great power of presence, where people found him terrifying, and he would come up from the bottom, but you didn't want him to come up from the bottom, because if he did, then that usually meant something terrible was about to happen to somebody, because they either weren't paying their dues, or they were trying to steal from him, or do whatever else. But then he also would select the very best people, whatever that meant, people that somehow fit some criteria that he had, and he would take them back down below with him, and they would come to work for him in his inner circle. And so somehow or another, I got to going down, not with this guy, but because I wanted to know what was down in this hole. And so I just started climbing downwards into this chasm, and it just kept going deeper and deeper and deeper. And as I got deeper, I began to see markings and things on the walls. And then I sort of, in the way that you know stuff in dreams, I realized that the reason that this man was terrifying and had this weird power of presence that he had was not of his own doing, but it was because he was some weird sort of death plague doctor priest for a weird Cthulian-like god that lived even further down in the depths than he did. It was just this sort of black, amorphous, who knew exactly, but it gave him powers. And it was because he supposedly did its bidding, or who, I don't know. It was really kind of unclear exactly. But yeah, and that was like this dream, and it sort of ended with this question in my head of, does this guy need to be fought, or is this guy a good guy, right? And if he had to be fought, then how do you go about fighting this strange person that lives, and just kind of rises out of the dark abyss or whatever to, to come and get you? But see, to me, that's a weird dream, right?
I'm going to say this, is that one thing I've learned from talking to you is that you have some very, very detailed, very cool dreams. I also know that you remember them a lot better than other people do. And you are more comfortable sharing the deep, weird dreams, with people that are your friends and close to you and whatnot. Most people don't do that. And it's not saying there's anything wrong. I'm just saying that it's just a thing. So you're not going to go to see an article with really cool, deep dreams like you have, because, you are a creative, princess.
But do you think that these are are these weird to
no,
you?
These, but it's more than what's normally shared.
The one where you can't enjoy the water park.
What does that say?
It says, I had a dream. I was at a water park with my husband and ex-boyfriend, one of my uncles, and a handful of children who seemed to belong to us. It was so vivid. There were those sunscreen dispensers everywhere, and Sunshine Pop was playing over the loudspeakers, and everyone had an inner tube around their waist. I decided to hit the wave pool, but no matter how I timed it, I couldn't catch a wave and body surf it. I was visibly frustrated when one by one, my husband, ex-uncle, and imagined kiddos all joined me in the pool to try to teach me. In turn, they each lost patience with me and body surfed away until I was the last person left in the pool. I struggled there, jumping just as a second too early or too late for what felt like hours, and I woke up tangled in my bed sheets. I was irritable the next morning, and if I'm being honest, a little fire ignites a week later as I type this. Why couldn't I catch a wave?
Have you ever had a dream where you woke up and you're mad at the person that you're in the dream with because of what they did in the dream?
Wait, were you what?
Where you wake up, you had a dream, you're fighting with somebody, you're just mad in the dream, and you wake up and you find yourself mad at the person because of what they did in the dream?
Seems not nice to do.
Well, I've had dreams where I'm mad, but I don't. It's not rational to be mad at the person for something they did in the dream. But I sometimes will wake up having the feeling of just being irritable or angry.
Right.
Even though it's not, I don't tend to direct that. I think Count Morbid is over there going to sleep on his own. Oh my gosh, he turned the lights on. That must mean it's the end of the show, you guys. When the lights come
up. Ladies and gentlemen.
I had a dream that we were attacked by mobs.
You mean the end of the show at 9 o'clock?
That's what I mean.
I don't think the show ever actually ends at 9.
No, it depends. Whatever. Did you have a hot date tonight, Count Morbid? Are we making you late?
Did you have fun?
Yes.
I had fun.
Yes.
Frank is already there, but
he's not a hot date.
Here it is, the obligatory click like and subscribe and be back here on Friday because we will have an awesome author reading, and then again on Sunday for the handmade home shopping. Yes.
Do we have an artist that was going to perform?
I don't have anything scheduled for that yet. No, I mean, there was supposed to be a mermaid, but that went down the drain.
Poke Annie. Anyway, have a great night, everybody.
Yes. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we'll see you here like normal next week. Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Pushing the button. I'm pushing the button. I
Watch out
pushed
for moths.
it. Watch out for moths. Man, that would be a terrible dream. I hate moths.